Hey Jen. All right, so we have kind of a new hybrid core plan for you. All right, half of this is stuff you've already been doing, so not a big deal. I'm hoping with those things you can maybe up the intensity a touch, and then we got a few new ones that we did today. So in total, it's 6 moves. Like we talked about, I don't care. You don't have to do all 6 together. You can kind of, a couple in the morning, couple in the afternoon, couple in the evening, just based on how timing works out. And also, I think if you are going to work your core a little more intensely, then the frequency doesn't have to be as high. Maybe this is an every other day thing now, and you give everything still a little chance to rest and to recover. There's nobody says this has to be every day anymore, and I think you'll actually do better kind of having an easy day and a hard day and focusing on other things. We'll talk about kind of putting it all together here later. But 6 moves. I think they all kind of go into pairs nicely. So the first 2 is just planks and bridges. You know these. Bridges, I mean, that's the one you're probably doing the best right now. You can do the staggered holds. You can continue to, you can do normal, you can do your little pulses at the end to get a little more activation. The big thing for me is just make sure the core is on the whole time. I can turn off my belly and do bridges, right? But it's so much more efficient when I can flex the core, keep that tight, still hold the position, and then perform nice deep breathing all at the same time. That's when it really starts to pay dividends, when you can engage, flex hard, breathe comfortably, and you don't feel like you're flailing out of water, all right? That's the good stuff right there. So keep doing bridges. Again, staggered. Heck, if you want to hit the glutes a little more, you can do some single-legged bridges, or you can just really just promote that stagger a little bit further apart. That's going to hit the glute a little bit harder on that closer leg, which I know you're trying to hit a little bit more often right now. So again, love the bridges, keep doing those. This transitions nicely to the plank. Your plank was fine today. You were about here. I'm holding. I just want you to go a little bit higher on the hips. All right, and that's going to get that front of the core engaged that much more. And this can just be an isometric hold. It can be a little bit of reps if you want to kind of get into this and do a little bit of flexion. I'll leave that to you, but just a bridge and a plank go so nicely together. The next pair was squats and lunges. So your squat is, again, a little bit more of a wide, a little bit more of a sumo variety. That way we get the hips involved. Only thing for me, I had was just a little taller. Again, I know you feel like you want your balance to be good there, but just a little bit taller is going to keep that core engaged a little bit more, as opposed to being all rounded over when you're doing this. And you can keep, again, pulses, holds, I don't care. You're just in a challenging position and you're hanging out for a little while. Love that one. I do want you to get back into the lunges. I know traditionally you've done these on a stair, so be my guest. So 1 foot up, we're lunging forward. A couple things to think about with these now. I know you get a little bit of a booty pain on this one. I do think engaging the core thoroughly, so tighten first, then get into that lunge. I think that will help you with some of that nerve pain. Also, you do kind of, you have really good flexibility, so sometimes your lunge turns into, a little bit of it's a lot of stretch, right? You kind of get really deep into here and you're putting a lot of stress on the joints and you're not doing, a lot for the muscles. So it's okay if you do this lunge and you're only, you don't have to lean that far, right? Only lean about halfway, and that might be what you normally would. You'll still feel the muscles, you'll still feel the core. I really liked adding some upper body work if you can. So it turns this into from a leg exercise into everything, right? You're getting your legs working, my core's on, my upper body's doing something at least. This could be a really good kind of introduction, getting back into the yoga classes, right? Challenging yourself here, maintaining the position. I know you feel like you're gonna topple a little bit, but this is the challenge. Tight core, you're gonna topple a lot less. So make sure that guy's on while you're doing some good work. Again, squats and lunges go so happily together. And then the last one that we did, it's gonna be, this is our newer ones. These are very core specific now. All right, first one was grab a lightweight. We had a 10-pound plate. I see an 8-pound dumbbell here, kind of whatever you have at home. Nice wide stance with the legs. And then you are getting this wonderful groin stretch. Hang out down here a little bit if you want. And then the strength part is the unrounding your back. So right now I'm rounded, but when I come up, I want to come up with really good posture. Again, let it round, really good posture. So I love this move to strengthen the low back, which is a good portion of the core. Plus you get some good hip flexibility out of this one. Can't do this one enough in my opinion. As far as reps go, as far as how much weight, I leave that up to you. But again, I think if you put this into that kind of every other day category, that'd be wonderful. And then when you get a kettlebell, we're gonna do some trunk rotation. So you're gonna pick up the weight, put down the weight. Again, engage the whole time, engage hard. Put it up, put it down. Pull it up, put it down. Harder than it looks because we're seated, so all this work has to come from my trunk. If we did this standing, your hips would end up taking a lot of that load. So, again, right now, if you don't have the kettlebell, shoot, just grab a light dumbbell, just kind of tap it next to you there. But I love these two go well together because now you're seated. So find yourself the right chair, bench, couch, and you can knock these out. Again, every other day is still good. I'll leave reps up to you. Now these two are a little less, they're not isometrics like the rest. These are actually gonna be reps and movement. So because of that, everything's a bit lighter. Usually just one set is all you need. Just kind of one round to failure and you're done. So there's our 6 core moves. We added a little bit of variation on your piriformis stretches as well. So you get your normal piriformis stretch where you kind of cross your leg and you lean down, and everybody loves this one. A couple things I want you to think about now while you're in this position. Here, I'm gonna show you from my right leg here. So I'm in this stretch position. I want you to start thinking about your back, all right? Maybe a little bit of cat-cow, strengthening. I know from last time we met, this mid-back was a little bit on the weaker side, so strengthening your mid to low back here with this one. You can add these reaches. Doesn't really matter where you're reaching. You can reach high, you can reach low, but all of these will intensify the piriformis stretch. And then also it helps you for when you kind of get into a tough position. Your piriformis is tight, it's maxed out right now. And then we're adding a little bit of upper body work. So then guess what? That piriformis becomes even more resilient and even more stretched out, more than you thought you had. So reaching, postures, you know, I can get in this tough position here and do some snow angels, do some punching. There's really no wrong answer there. You're still getting the stretch. You're just getting a little bit more bang for your buck. And go ahead and switch sides that way. So play around with that, be my guest. Last thing before we do the pyramid here, we talked elbow, that right elbow. Again, give that a couple more weeks probably before. You can add weights and you can do everything, just don't take it to that full extreme. You might need to leave yourself a little bit of room here because I think we got a little bit of bone bruising in there. If that's still bad in a couple weeks, let me know. We might try something different. All right. And then, bear with me here. Here's my pyramid of success. Just kidding. So the bottom this is what I use for corrective stuff, right? This is physical therapy exercises. This is an injury. This is, I can't do what I want to do, so I gotta work on some things that are not right. For you right now, you don't have much, maybe the elbow a little bit, but that doesn't honestly take any bandwidth or any time. So I don't think you have any corrective moves necessarily. Maintenance, this is daily or every other day stuff. This is just stuff I need to do to live well, to be healthy, right? So I know you're gonna walk every day or at least every other. I know you like to stretch every other day or every day, so that might be 5 minutes of there. And then this is where kind of the new stuff goes. That new core routine, what we just did, these 6 exercises, that might be every other day for 10 minutes tops. And then here might be every other day. This might be some upper body work. This might be some lower body. This could be some bands, some dumbbells. So this is light stuff. This isn't heavy weights. This isn't, I'm trying to build muscle. This is just movement, mobility, get a little heavy breathing, maybe it's just a touch of a sweat, nothing crazy, light maintenance work. Progressive is the going to the gym and lift some bigger stuff, or a little bit quicker on the elliptical, or Maybe like we talked about a walk without the dog, just a little above and beyond what you would normally do. You're going to need recovery afterwards. You wouldn't do this stuff twice a day or every day. You need a little bit of a break because this stuff's harder. I'm more worried about kind of maximizing this routine here first, but definitely keep hitting the gym and keep doing all that stuff. And then that long term, are we going to do a yoga class? Are we going to walk a 5K? Are we going to go travel and do some off-roading? That's kind of up to you. So I just want to put that in your head. That helps me when we're kind of coming up with these quarter goals or semester goals. Why am I doing all these little things? Because they're going to build up to something. So I think if you can conquer kind of these 6 moves and get this core routine down, I think that's going to be very helpful. And then once you have that down, that's your main goal. Anything else that you do as far as stair exercise or some dumbbell work or any machines at the gym, it's just icing on the cake. You have a really good baseline right now and you're feeling good right now, and I want to keep it that way. I would say once you get that core routine down pretty good, then you can start changing some of those isometrics into more reps, or you can add weights to those squats and those lunges, or you can go a little heavier with the trunk rotation and the back extension. So get the technique down right now, make sure nothing's pinching, and then you can start to bump up your intensities a little bit there. Sorry, that's a lot. We went over quite a bit today, but I'm very happy with it. Keep moving, keep going. Give yourself a day off every once in a while because you deserve it. We're definitely you're in a good space right now. I will definitely fill me in, catch me up soon, and we'll talk down the road. Take care. Bye.